Smiley Day Geeks, welcome back to the Geek Cider Show. I'm Josh.
I'm Anna.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 23. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, skip this video and come back later because everything we say, from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. I got real excited. I was tired literally right until I hit record. So this episode was crazy, from the start. Okay, Chetney. Okay, now my thing with this whole Chetney thing with Tuyen, right?
Yeah.
Was that Chetney being angry about being ripped off on those chisels, or was that the wolf kind of amplifying that irritation and anger?
That's kind of my thing, is because since the failed save with Orem, Travis has been playing on that wolf anger thing, and it makes me think that this whole thing, maybe he discussed this with Matt and was like, hey, since I wolfed out on Orem, can I do this?
Mm-hmm. That's where I am too.
Yeah, that feels like a very Travis thing to do. It'd be like, hey, can we play on this instead of just having it be this one single? Because they do that. Something will be like a one sentence thing in the campaign book, and they'll take that and string it along for episodes and do a whole thing on it. So, I could see this just being a form of the lycanthropy, a thing.
And we haven't done lycanthropy in any of our campaigns.
No.
I have read up on it because we did have a player who really was into it. And most of the stuff in the various handbooks and in materials, it focuses on the negatives, all the bad shit that can happen if you get this curse. There's not a lot of positives that come out of it. And so, as this campaign draws on, who knows what the heck is going to happen with Chetney. But I'm thinking, I agree. I think it's the wolf kind of amplifying all of Chetney's more primal emotions.
And I think it's also a way to carry the story forward because, I know that this is a game, but Matt has plot points. Even if you look back in past episodes, in the Mighty Nine and stuff like that, there are plot points in the beginning of Mighty Nine that they don't actually get to until the end of Mighty Nine.
There are plot points in Vox Machina they didn't get to until the Mighty Nine.
Or things that they never got to but were hinted at, and so they never solved it as their players, but it did eventually get solved in the world. It's a way to carry the story forward because, as of right now, Chetney has a pretty good control of the wolf. Sure, he's had the one episode where he wolfed out, but that's really not that big a deal. He's with people who can help him with this. So there's
They've
really
talked it out and figured out what to do in that situation.
Exactly. So there's no drive for him to continue his story. There's no reason for him to go after this wolf pack. He's got a group of people. They're willing to help him out. That's kind of what he needed, is just supervision, kind of. He's got that. So without some sort of thing, which I think this whole breaking into the store is going to be that thing, this wolf thing that's going to make him make bad decisions and aggressive decisions, there would be no reason for him to go find this wolf pack. And
if they do go back to Drusar, this is definitely going to bite Chetney in the ass.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't imagine them not going back to Drusar.
And it might not literally bite Chetney in the ass. I don't think he's actually going to get in trouble. I think he covered his tracks pretty well.
Tuyen didn't really see Chetney. She saw the wolf.
She saw the wolf. And that story's going to go around. The other players, specifically thinking Orem here, is going to overhear about this and connect it to Chetney, and then there's going to be a conversation.
And this could come back on Gurge, too.
It could come back on Gurge, because there are a lot of rumors about Gurge.
Yeah. From there, the players fucked around with the portable hole a lot, and that was just really them having fun.
Yeah.
And because I know Liam knows what a portable hole is and what it does, and I'm pretty sure that Sam FCG cast Identify, so FCG knows what it does. I'm sure Sam read up on it. So this was just them fucking around and having a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was.
And it was a great way of describing the whole without just reading a paragraph definition for the people watching who don't know what the whole is, such as myself. I've never heard of this item before. Because I'm pretty new to D&D. I have not been playing for very long.
It is a pretty iconic item in D&D, as much so as like the immovable rod is.
Yeah. So it's something I've never heard of. So I appreciated the way they acted out the explanation of what it can do and figuring it out, as opposed to just like, this does blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, I could have looked that up.
Yeah. And from there, they went and talked to Lord Esteros. He hired them, I guess, again to go hunt down Treshy. Mm-hmm. And then from there they went to the ship and they met Captain Xandis.
Xandis, I think it's
Xandis or Xanis. And this is so far my favorite NPC of campaign 3.
They are amazing. I need to see art of this character. I really hope we get official art of this character. I hope this character becomes like another Essek type character where they come back over and over and over again. I love them so much.
I like Xandis more than I like Esteros. And I like Esteros.
Yeah.
Esteros is really cool. I mean, he bakes, he's paranoid, he's a badass. Xandis is just so fun.
They're so fun. Yeah.
He's like, you guys are great. I can't do the accent. I apologize. But Xandis is fantastic. So then in the second half of the episode, they're on their way. And I really hope that they release Marquette as a whole as a campaign setting.
Oh my God,
because I really want to play in the Hellcatch Valley. With freaking like a Mad Max-esque setting in D&D. Oh my God, I want to play it so bad.
I love Mad Max so much.
Yeah. I want to watch Fury Road tomorrow.
Okay.
But I would love to play that setting. I hope that at some point Marquette gets its own campaign setting release,
and I think it will.
Including the Hellcatch Valley. So, a lot of stuff happened in the back half of this episode. First, the combat. First, the ship.
Oh, that ship was beautiful.
Gosh, that was so cool. And it was made out of like coffee stirs and like popsicle sticks and stuff. And I'm like, it didn't look like it.
No,
that looked like
it looked freaking legit. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it looks so good.
I needed to look into that guy. Matt did name drop him. I'm terrible with names, so I apologize. But I need to look into that dude to see if does he have a store?
Yeah.
Because holy shit, it looks so good. And that combat was amazing. I thought Orym was done.
Yeah, I was real worried about Orym because I know he got overshadowed in EXU for me because the other characters were so loud. And so I wasn't looking forward to him in this campaign, but he has very, very quickly become one of my favorites. I love Orym. He is the only reason why I would consider a fighter, because the way he describes his fighting and the aerobatics of it, I was not going to be okay if something happened to Orym.
I thought he was going over when Matt made Marisha roll that perception check to see if Laudna could see Orym. I was like, ooh, if she doesn't roll well here, Orym's done. That's a 300 or 400 foot fall.
Which also, though, because we didn't know the catalyst thing of that fight, Imogen.
Oh gosh, that's.
But at that point we didn't know. Like, I still don't know why Imogen was able to fly. If anybody with far superior D&D knowledge that I have knows what gave her that ability.
I'm wondering, because they are now level
7, 6 or 7.
6 or 7. They just leveled up. I think they're level.
I think it's 6.
I think there's 6 now. And fly is a 3rd level spell, right?
I have no idea. I've never had fly.
You just got fly in our campaign.
I haven't transcribed it yet.
Oh.
I don't know it. I haven't transcribed it.
I'm pretty sure fly is a 3rd level campaign. Do sorcerers get 3rd level spells at level 6? I have to look into it.
Yeah.
But it could just be, it's a new spell Imogen got, and so she's like, holy shit, I can do this now?
Yeah,
and that's a good way to roleplay it.
Oh my God, if that's how she's flavoring her fly, I'm blown away with how all of them flavor all of their stuff, all of their abilities, whether they're just regular physical attacks or their spells. But yeah, I am blown away with how Imogen's magic works and how, I thought Liam did a great job with Caleb and re-skinning spells.
Uh-huh.
And I think Laura saw that and was like,
I'll
we're
see
twins.
your.
I'm gonna one up ya.
with the purple and sparks as she flies like Iron Man and rescues Orm. That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, so we didn't know that could happen, so he would have been fine regardless. But yeah, when...
Well, look, because she waited a little bit before she did that because he was feather falling.
Well, because he was feather falling. If
he
hadn't been
feather
feather falling, she would have gone.
I don't know if she would be able to use fly as a reaction. I don't know if Matt would let her do that.
She wouldn't, but he wouldn't plummet to his death in one round. And she had a fly speed of 60.
And I don't know how falling speed works.
Yeah, and he's little. He's
how
small.
far do you fall per round?
Especially a small boy. He's 3'3".
He could spread out maybe and slow himself down. Because we've never.
He certainly wouldn't fall as fast as Ashton would.
You're right, because Ashton's a freaking meteor.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so I think she could have, if on her next turn she dived, she would have gotten him because he would have only had a 6-second head start, and she has a fly speed of 60 feet.
I feel like you'd fall 300 feet within 6 seconds.
Well, they were higher than 300 feet. I thought. Did you say 300 feet?
That's what Matt said. They're 300 or 400 feet.
I don't know. I don't think I have
because Travis had asked.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
And he said 3 or 4.
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, he said 300 or 400 feet.
I know.
I think Orm would have been done. If Laudna hadn't rolled well in that perception check, I think he would splat done. All right. So anyway, the combat was really cool. The monsters were terrifying.
Oh, they were really cool. I don't know if those are actual monsters or if he just created them.
I feel like that might have been. I feel like that might have been a reskin or a homebrew monster because he had to use substitute minis. I wish he had like the minis that were applicable to that. But they were so scary.
Yeah.
After the combat, and this is I started before I hit record. I was really tired, and I'm like, man, the last 5 minutes of this episode, we have to record tonight. We can't put it off.
Yeah.
Imogen and Laudna. They're talking about the Gnarl Stone, the Gnarl Rock, and Laudna keeps saying this thing like sweat down the back of her head, and just this urge to this curiosity. This forced curiosity about this rock. Like, this isn't Laudna like going, I wonder what this is. This is a forced curiosity. And so she asks to hold it. And I was surprised Imogen let her.
Me too.
I think that might have been Laura going, let's see what happens. More than Imogen going, yeah, sure, hold it.
Well, Imogen was a little hesitant about it.
A little bit.
And I think if it had been anybody except for Laudna, she would not have. I think it's the fact that it was Laudna.
But Imogen let Laudna hold it, and then like Delilah took over and wouldn't let her drop it. And so first of all, what the fuck happened? Like the warmth and the heartbeat is, well, like you tweeted.
I think Delilah sucked up the all of the magical essence and energy from the stone, and she's gonna keep trying to do that in order to regain power and either become whole again or take over Laudna, which was your suggestion. I think she's trying to take over Laudna. She's going to try to take over Laudna. But I definitely think that stone's energy was siphoned into Delilah. Not Laudna. Because my first thought when he said the heartbeat, I was like, oh my god, is Laudna like alive? But I don't think so. I think it went to Delilah.
I 100% agree with that. I think it went to Delilah, and I think she's trying to take over Laudna.
Yeah.
I think that is Delilah's ultimate plan. But Imogen's reaction, you lied. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, oh my god.
So, one thing that they haven't done a ton of in Critical Role, they did it toward the end of Campaign 1 when Scanlan left, and there was, and then when Tyrion came in, there was kind of like an interpersonal animosity there because Tyrion's such an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. So there's interpersonal conflict there. But then when Scanlan came back, there was like resentment, and it took a while to work that out within the player characters.
Yeah.
And there was a tiny bit of it in campaign 2.
Yeah, for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, but between Ford and Caleb, when Ford like slammed him up against the wall and was like, "You're gonna steal shit," blah 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 blah. And there was a little bit with Not when she had like dressed him down and like, you misunderstand what our relationship is. I'm the parent in this relationship, which was a great moment.
Yes,
with
that's
Not.
such a good moment.
But they haven't done like interpersonal conflict within the party for a long time.
Yeah.
That's like been drawn out, and I feel like this is going to be a rift in the party.
They've had moments, like we were saying, with Ford and Caleb and Not, and well, basically Not and Caleb and the whole group. There was a little bit of a rift. It wasn't as bad with some members as others.
It was a lack of trust for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't like
it was right at the beginning too. It
conflict.
was like episode 3 or 4.
It wasn't conflict.
Yeah, it wasn't conflict because Caleb at that point was very non-confrontational.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't had a long drawn out, like, it doesn't matter how close your group of friends is, you fight. You're gonna have a fight at some point, and you're either gonna have to still hang out together and work through it, or the friend group splits up. So it'll be really interesting to see how Laudna and Imogen work through this.
I think it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a lot of time because I think part of that is that stone. First of all, I'm so glad Imogen got rid of it because I was starting to get some evil villain vibes from Imogen.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this episode, there was a number of things she did that were kind of shady. As the one that's standing out to me is when she persisted on speaking in Xandis's mind.
Oh yeah,
even after they told her not to do that ever again, and then she did it again, like deliberately. Yep. That was very. That felt to me like somebody who's like, all right, I'm working on bringing in a villain vibe.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ignore
your consent.
Your consent, yeah.
Yeah. That was really sus. There was something else that she did that I cannot remember towards the beginning of the episode. It was in the first half, and I remember like it happening and being like, ooh, I'm not liking Imogen this episode.
Especially given how important consent is for Imogen as far as like going into her mind, for her to go into their mind that second time after they said don't do that.
Yeah, especially when she was right there.
I get it.
There was no reason for her to speak in his mind except to show everybody that she could.
Yeah.
And show them that she could.
That's what
to show them that their consent didn't mean anything. And that bothered me a lot. So I'm really glad that she does not have the stone anymore. I'm so glad she does not have the stone anymore. But
the consequences that come,
because
oh man,
I don't think the effects of the stone are going to just dissipate because she doesn't have it. I think it's going to take some time to work out.
Yeah. Like a medicine getting out of your system.
Yeah. So like if that stone wasn't affecting her, I feel like she would trust Laudna enough that when Laudna told her, I didn't do that, that was Delilah, she would believe her. She's going to need this item for a while, and until that's purged from her system, she's not going to be able to forgive Laudna.
The stone broke.
Yeah.
So she's going to be looking for a substitute or a replacement somewhere. Oh man, just
there's so many good things
there's
that can
so
happen.
much going on, and so oh god.
Yeah.
That last 5 minutes it gave me chills.
Yeah. They're starting to really dive into the really good RP now, and I'm so excited.
It was really funny because we were talking, as we paused the episode for a minute, and you're like, you know what? Until just like a minute ago, there was no like really hardcore role playing in this episode, and now at the very end they're doing it, and then it went like completely
and then it went even harder,
crazy, and I went, oh my god! So, I cannot wait for next week's episode.
Do we have an episode next week?
Yeah. I think we have one next week, and then the week after that is when Calamity starts.
Okay.
We will be doing episodes for videos for EXU Calamity. Brennan Lee Mulligan's going to be DMing that. Travis, Marisha, Sam's playing.
Abria's playing.
Abria's playing, and
I'm excited to see
new
Abria.
cast members.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Abria as a player because I have not watched anything that she's been a player in. I've only seen her in EXU, so I'm excited to see her as an actual player in the campaign as opposed to the DM.
I'm excited to see what Brennan does as a DM because I think If I was
He's a
Matt,
great DM.
he's a fantastic
Yeah.
DM. And he's a much darker DM than Abria is. So you pick the right person to do the Calamity arc.
Yeah.
But I think if there's any like if I was Matt Mercer and I was going to trust someone with very important lore of my world other than myself, it would be Brennan.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good choice for DM. I'm a little bummed that Matt's not playing in it, but I can see why he's not.
Yeah, it's the whole point of it is so that Matt can have a break. So if he was playing in it, that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
All right, I think that's going to be it for this video. If there was something that we didn't talk about that we should have, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please let us know by dropping a like on it and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.